Hello, this is Thomas, K4SWL. If you're new here, I like to do real-time, real-life amateur radio field activation videos. And today I'm at Zebulon Vance Historic Birth Site, and just out here for a very short period of time. I just finished filming a little video comparing the KH1 with the Mountain Topper Series radios, and took too much time with that. So now I only got about 30 minutes to do an activation. And I've decided what I'm doing today is using my Elecraft KH1, but in more kind of a bare bones configuration. I thought it'd be fun to just use the radio, none of the cover, nothing like that on it right now. Plug it into a speaker. I'm not going to use the key with it. I'm going to plug in an external key, which I got to grab from my pack over there. And but I will use the internal ATU and the internal battery on this. And basically, I had found out that I still have this random wire antenna. This is made by Tuften, and actually my buddy Joshua, who runs Tuften, was with me when I built this, because he gave it to me as a kit, and I built this when we went to the W4 Soda camp out last month. It's still last month at this point, because we're at the very last day of November right now, and that camp out was mid-October. I have not put this on the air yet, to my knowledge. I don't think I've put it on the air. And it's a long one. If you can see here, there's quite a lot of wire in this, and I can't remember. Joshua may remember how much wire I put in this, but all it is two wires. One that's, I think, maybe 71 feet long, I can't remember, and then one that's 17 feet long. I may be wrong about that. Joshua will probably correct me, because he probably remembers the random wire length I decided on, but I'm going to try to just shoot it straight over this little tree. This tree's small. I'm going to try to shoot it over that tree right there instead of going for one of the trees over here, and see if I can hook it up directly and if that'll work. I am using this Weaver throw line today, and the reason why is if you look at these trees, these are the kind that will absolutely snag a small, thin, like 2mm throw line that has like an 8-ounce weight instead of a 10 or a 12-ounce weight. For trees like this where you've got really thick branches, even if they're small trees, you really need a heavier weight to punch through those and get through them. And I know that this will do it just fine. So let's get started. Let's see. I really don't have a lot of time to waste. I'm trying to think right now what band I'm going to operate on, and I'll just see what I can tune up. I may try to do it. I may try to set the camera over here so you can kind of see it from this side, this angle here. I probably won't hit it right the first time, but we'll find out. That's part of the fun, is doing the throw line bit, to me. Okay, here we go. If I get the camera to set up properly, sorry. This may fall over. If it does, I hope you don't hurt your head. Here we go. Okay, probably saw that take place there, but basically I was very lucky I shot it the first time. You couldn't see from this, but the sun was right in my eyes, so I was kind of shooting blind going through there, but it went straight through, came up right on the right side, and so it is a lot of line in this. It's touching a ton of tree branches. There is no feed line because basically I'm doing this without a feed line, without a transformer or anything. Now, I'm trying to move the radio over here so that we're out of the direct sunlight, just because it's going to be hard to film it that way. So I've tried to move this stuff out of the way here real quick. Get my jacket and make sure I've got all my connections here for getting things going, and then we're going to hop on the air. And I've been thinking about the band to use. I may try 30 meters, and the reason why is it's kind of splitting the difference. I suspect 20 is going to be doing better today than 40 because we have had almost X-class flaring lately, and we've been hit by a series of like 3 CMEs. I suspect that that's being rough on the 40 meter band, possibly rough on the 30 meter band as well. I don't know, but I thought I'd split the difference, try 30 meters. Frankly, I wouldn't mind it not being super active today, because I do I have to keep this, I have to limit this activation. I can't have it too long. And make sure I've got my, I need to get my CW key here real quick and then get things set up. I think I'll use my CW Morse SP4 paddles this time. Now the first thing I'll have to do, well, there are a couple of ways of doing this, to be honest. One kind of quirk with the KH1 is that when you use it with an external paddle, you have to reverse the key from like normal to reverse, so that the right side's dits, sorry, yeah, the right side's not dits when you do this. It reverses the dits and the dashes in either side of the paddle. So I need to go in here and go into the menu options, go into, I think it's under key. Whoops, what am I doing? Operate's what I want. Hit the wrong side of that. Key option, paddle norm. I make that paddle reverse, and then I hit menu and I'm out of that. And let's go ahead and move bands down to the 30 meter band. Whoops, didn't do that right. Let's try that again. And let's go ahead and see if the ATU is going to work to tune this. This antenna has never been used before. Ooh, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. I'm hearing some signals. Okay, there's somebody about a kilohertz away. That's fine. So, yep, 1.2 to 1. So that worked really well. The ATU in this radio is great, I think. Make sure I got my log set up here. A lot of people have complained about the side tone with this radio. It doesn't bother me for whatever reason. It just doesn't bother me. I'm not picky about side tones. As long as it's loud enough that I can hear it, I'm fine. Okay, so that's just like one of the areas I'm not picky about, but I get it. It has like kind of a square wave sound, and I do believe that Elecraft's working on this in firmware to make it sound a little different. Okay, let's see here. 30 meters. Let's go ahead and get this set up for 30 meters. And I don't have CW message memory set up on here right now, but that doesn't matter. I don't think I'm hopefully I won't have to call too much. What am I trying to do? Yeah, let's go ahead and get this ready. Oh, the time. 1700, put 30 meters. There's somebody about right there. let's go up a little bit. Maybe 15.5. Let's listen here for just a second. One 1.1 to 1. Yeah, it's really good. Okay. I think I need to clean my contacts. I never think about cleaning them until I'm in the field. Good to get you in the logs again. I think I've got that right. I like your call sign. Did I get that right? DDS? He just disappeared. Good to get North New Hampshire in there. I think I got that right. Oh. You sound great, Jeb. It warmed from my heart to hear you. Another person just kind of disappears on me. The band is really wonky. Whew, this wind is really making me fight my radio too. I want to try it one more time. Now I'm wishing I would have put the weight on the other end. I pulled it off thinking I wouldn't need it. Okay, sorry, I can't hear you. I can't hear you right now. Oh my goodness. By the way, I know how to secure this so it won't do this, but it wasn't as breezy as this a minute ago. Oh, there we go. I knocked the speed up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to call QRT right now. Yeah. That's it. Let me just take some photos here real quick. Yeah, the truth is I've run out of time. I've got 12 contacts, which is plenty for a valid activation. Not that I'd have to have a valid activation today, but hey, it's nice when I can do it. There we go. This looks like a really weird configuration when I do this in my photo. But so this wire was pulling, and as I was operating, as you could probably see, when the winds would gust, so that was kind of awkward. I don't want it to pull my radio off, but I was making sure it wouldn't do that, to be honest. It wouldn't have done that. Now I just need to put up the antenna, put up everything. Very pleased with this. That was a nice little activation, actually. Let's go ahead and take a picture of this before the wind grabs it. Okay. And what I can do, hypothetically, is sit over here at the end of the table and wind up this antenna. Now, when Joshua and I made this antenna, when we were making our antennas, he set up a whole antenna making station. He's the guy behind Tuften. He's the guy behind these little antenna kits. He had a whole station set up to do this, and I just thought that was the coolest thing. I get to the campsite, and we were sharing a campsite, and he had this really nice setup with his Davis RF wire. He had everything. He had just everything there. I can sit here and just pull this up because I didn't put a weight on the other end. I don't have to pull this out, so I should be able to put it on here and roll it up fine. Now, all this antenna is just, it's a pure random wire. You need a radio like the KH1 that has a built-in antenna tuner in order to operate an antenna like this. Again, it's a random wire number. It's when you build a random wire antenna like this that has no matching unit, you really want to make sure, if you want it to work on all bands, that it's not resonant on any of the one bands that you'll be using. And so there are some calculators and numbers and charts out there to help you determine what that number should be. And I determined this in the field at the campsite, and I can't remember now what it was, but I made this really long with the idea that I could use it on 80 meters maybe, with some of my radios that have 80 meters on them, like maybe my KX2 or something, but I haven't tried that yet. This was the very first time I've taken this out to the field to try it, and I'm very pleased with it. And thank you, Joshua. You're such a good friend, and all this stuff together. But basically, if you want to make one of these and you don't want a full kit or whatever, he sells kits, and I highly recommend them because they're just so small and compact. And he uses really good wire and really good materials. But you can also make this with speaker wire, any kind of wire you want, and just use a BNC binding post adapter to attach it to your radio. That's all you really have to do. Now I'll put the counterpoise on here and try to hold all this together while I'm doing it. The counterpoise is much shorter, 17 feet. So I'll just kind of roll this up on here. So one side of it's really heavy with wire, the other side not so much, but I love this. I love these little random wire antennas. I find them very effective. You could tell the bands were wonky today, and I'm not at all surprised. Like I said, we were hit by CMEs, and so who knows what was really happening out there. But man, I was so pleased to get Jim in the logs, and a few friends in the logs, but haven't had N4JAW in the logs in a long time. It is a really tough path to Kentucky from here for some reason, where he lives in Kentucky. So it was really nice to get him on the air. Let's just go ahead and roll this guy up over here too. Yeah, I needed to finish by 1 o'clock, and it is exactly 1 right now. So I'll probably running about 5 minutes behind. That's doable. Have to run into town, then go pick up my daughters. Regular old dad stuff today. Okay, here we go. Let's do the figure 8 method here. People have asked me a lot lately about Arborist throw lines for some reason. Maybe it's because it's approaching the holidays and they're trying to think of a gift to give the ham radio person in their life, or to themselves, which is perfectly fine too. And I just wrote a post this morning. I haven't published it yet. I'm sure it'll be published by the time I post this video, because this video is probably going to be out a bit. Maybe it'll even be after Christmas for all I know, but I like this particular combination a whole lot. This is my Weaver throw line. It's a little thicker than my other throw line. And I like the heavier weight, again, because if I could only have one throw line, as much as I love my 2mm throw line, and I probably use it more than this one, if I could only have one, I'd get this. And the reason why is because I don't have to worry about the kinds of trees I'm shooting the line into with this line and this weight. But with the 2mm line, if I've got the 8-ounce weight, which is what I use a whole lot, I really need a tree that has sort of clearly defined branches that are not all clustered together. And you know, I need something like that when I'm doing it. We're not throwing the line quite as high up into the tree when I'm doing that. The higher you're throwing your line, or the thicker the branches are on the tree that you're throwing it into, the more you really need to be using a heavier weight. And that's mainly to overcome the physics and the friction that's created when you're running this through the trees. You know, there can be enough friction up there to keep you from pulling down an 8-ounce weight. And I also find that this yellow line, this stuff, it is so slick on the outside that it just glides through the tree branches. So I could punch it straight through all this. It would definitely go through there. Sorry, I know you're seeing the bottom of the tripod here. I carried my extra battery pack because I did some extra filming today and needed that battery pack to keep the video going. Let's see, I'm tempted to take all this stuff over here. We'll just put it up here. Why not show the rest of this? Now, my KH1, actually I've had it in here. I took it apart for the video that I did. Let me grab it. So I'll just kind of piece these parts back together here quickly. And then a little bit of a rush here. I won't fully attach it right now. I'll just kind of leave it off. There's enough room in here to accommodate it. I'm going to reattach it back home when I've got the time to do it correctly. So don't mess it up. Here we go. There we go. And that fits in there just like that. Now, the little case that comes with the KH1 works perfectly fine. I keep this in my EDC bag because it's crush proof, because I'll throw stuff on top of it in my bag, including water bottles and things like that. And I know that it's not going to leak on that and hurt the radio in any way, shape, or form, which makes me really happy. I have a lot of stuff in here right now. Put up the battery pack. And put up both of these cords. Whoops, that reminds me to turn off the speaker. I'll stick it in here. Yeah, like this, I don't really have to worry about how I've packed the KH1. I can just throw it in there any way I want to, and it's not going to get hurt in that pack. There's no way with that particular case that it's going to be hurt. So I can stick it on top of this case right here, in fact. This in here, I didn't need that today, of course. Let's see what else I've got to grab over here. Something that distracted me. The wind blew so much, I'd forgotten I stuck my sunglasses over here on this table. I heard them fall to the ground. That distracted me while I was trying to work somebody. So, here we go. Antenna here. I have a whole bunch of these notepads. I love them, and so I use them pretty extensively, so I buy them in bulk when I buy them. They're not cheap, and I realize that, but for me they're worth it. And that's the reason I think the things we love and use the most, we're willing to pay a bit extra to get them, and that is the case with this particular supply. I really like to have a nice quality notepad and a nice quality mechanical pencil when I'm playing radio. So there's my jacket. I needed that a minute ago. It's warmed up really nicely now, so it's less of an issue. Oh, this was a great activation. It's a really short one. I wish I would have had more time. I if you look, I just had a friend write this morning. It was Alan, W2AEW, or he wrote yesterday, and he said, "You doing okay? I haven't seen you on the RBN or anything lately." And it's true. The past 2 weeks, in and around Thanksgiving and everything, I have been slammed. And my schedule's been wonky, haven't been doing the same things I normally do. And the one day I went out this week, which was Monday, to do an activation, I got a phone call as I was about to start it. I had to drop everything and take off and not do the activation. So it was really nice just to get out and do an activation again, frankly. I'll probably be doing one tomorrow as well, because I'll be out and about, and hopefully I can play a little more radio, which will be a lot of fun. And then actually on Sunday is the Ham Radio Workbenches on the Air thing that we're doing, just kind of a fun little event. And it will have already happened by the time this video is out. But I'll be out all afternoon on Sunday activating. So I'm going to get plenty of radio time in the next few days. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you very much to my Patreon and Coffee Fund supporters. You make all this possible. I'm just so appreciative and humbled by your support. And everyone take care of each other out there, because we got on this planet to each other. So be kind to one another, okay? And until next time, 7 twos.